What's up? What's up? Happy Wednesday. Today is July 28th. This is the 38th episode of the show. I'm looking at my notes over there in case you're wondering. This is the 38th episode of the Be Your Own Hero show. Hero is an acronym. It means helping everyone reaps optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. And also in the context of this show, this is my journey to become my own hero. In other words, to become the best possible version of myself. And hopefully something I say about my journey to become my own hero will help you become your own hero. So there we go. Shout out to New Thought Media Network for giving me the space and the platform to talk about my journey. And thanks for tuning in. So if you want to donate to the network, please do. You can just go to ntmedia.org and hit the donate button to help them provide more content like this. So please support New Thought Media Network. All right. So let's get into it. Every episode, I have a whole list of notes. And every episode, I miss something. So I'm going to try to stay on point and get through it all. All right. So today is Wednesday. That's Workout Wednesday in terms of my themes. And my question of the day is, are you underestimating yourself? Are you underestimating yourself? That's a rhetorical question. Yes, you are. Yes, you are underestimating yourself, because I know that I'm underestimating myself. And I've seen that play out over and over in this process of becoming my own hero and pushing myself and pushing past my limits and my boundaries. I keep underestimating myself. So I've got a story, as usual. This one isn't about me, at least not yet. So after I do my runs, I go to get juice from a place called Turnip Truck. And then I was driving back from Turnip Truck here, and I saw this group jogging together. And I thought, oh, that's interesting how close they are. It was a very close-knit group, because usually, at least with Black Men Run, like we all start together, but then the folks who are called the Titans, as in the Tennessee Titans, they just take off. Like they are way down the street within minutes. And so we are staggered in that way based on our skills, abilities, etc. So I was curious about the fact that this group of runners was all running together. And so I got fascinated, and I stayed to watch them. And then it got even more interesting, because they were jogging on the sidewalk, and I saw one guy drop out into the street against oncoming traffic and start booking, running hard, like sprinting, and he was holding a medicine ball. You see, the medicine ball is like it's kind of like a volleyball, but it's weighted. He's running hard, holding this medicine ball. I'm like, where's he going with that medicine ball? What's happening right now? So I watched the whole thing play out. So what happens is he drops out, he runs hard, he sprints past all the joggers. He's passing everybody, pushing. He gets to the head of the line, drops the medicine ball, and then he drops back into formation. And what happens is the very last person in formation, when they get to the medicine ball, they pick it up and they sprint all the way up to the front, and they drop the medicine ball and then fall back into formation. This was fascinating to me. I've never seen anything like it before. I was riveted. And it was interesting to see the psychology of it play out in real time. Like once I understood what was happening, I was like, I could see that the two guys at the head of this formation were chilling. Like their job seemed to be to just keep pace, to set the pace and bring everybody along. But they weren't worried about that medicine ball, right? Whoever just brought it up to the front, they seemed to know that they were going to be able to zip on past them and keep maintaining the pace for the whole group. The people in the middle were conversational. Like they were actually having conversations with each other. Like, oh yeah, what you do, let's begin, whatever. So they're not worried about the medicine ball either. They just know all they have to do is not fall to the back. I'm going to stay right there in the middle of the pack. The people at the back, however, they were a little stressed. The people at the back, they were like jockeying for position, each one of them trying not to be the very last person that had to pick up that medicine ball. And as I watched, there was one woman who fell behind everyone else. So she was clearly the last person. And it was clearly her turn to grab the medicine ball and sprint to the front and drop it off. You know what she did? She pulled the spin move. She literally just slid into the bushes. She slid into the bushes and then walked into the parking lot and just vanished. So the two guys in front of her were looking back like, what? Uh-oh, uh-oh. So one of them had to come back to get the medicine ball because she wasn't behind them anymore. So anyway, that story, that experience really resonated for me because obviously I don't know her and I didn't have a conversation with her, but I'm thinking about her thoughts, what she was thinking. And I'm fairly certain that she had this repeating pattern of thoughts about, I can't, it's too hard, this is too much. I'm just going to pull a spin move into this parking lot and get in my car and go home. I say that because I've been there. I've been there several times during this process. And you really have to wrestle with yourself. Like that is the conclusion I've come to. That is not something someone has said to me before. So I want to emphasize that. You've got to wrestle with yourself. You can't just take for granted the things that happen in your mind. You got to fight. So the reticular activating system, you've heard me and Rev Melissa and other people talk about it a lot, but this is how it comes into play in a situation like this. There are two functions of the RAS, the reticular activating system, which I've decided to call, let me check my notes, the filter seeker. The filter seeker. Why the filter seeker? Because it has two functions. It filters. That's the first function. That's the one everybody knows about. That's what happens when your friend buys a new car that you've never heard of before, and all of a sudden you see that car everywhere. What was happening before is your filter seeker was filtering that out, that information about that car out, because there's so much going on out here in the world. It filters much of what happens. But once you say, once it becomes important in terms of your friend buying one, then it lets that information in. But the second function of the filter seeker is seeking. It seeks, right? So if you say, for example, I can't, your reticular activating system will automatically start searching for evidence to prove that you, in fact, can't. Immediately. And if you say, I can, it starts looking for evidence that you can. So it's really critically important what information you feed this system, this neurological system that exists in all of us that we can't turn off. You got to be very careful about your thoughts. And so in that situation, I think she's probably thinking, I can't, so I'm just gonna tap out. And I'm gonna give an example from my recent experience that kind of echoes this. So I talked about this a little bit the other day. Well, actually, I don't know if I told this story yet, but the other day I was feeling kind of tired, kind of sore. And I thought, when I do my mile today, I'm just going to run very slow. I'm going to run my slowest mile ever. That was my thought. I'm going to run the slowest mile I've ever run today. Just shuffle. So I started shuffling. And I do literally mean shuffling. It was not a run. It was not a jog. It was a shuffle. It was just barely there. And I was like, all right, so I'm shuffling. Now let me start thinking about what I'm going to say on the show today. And so once my attention went up to the show, my body went on autopilot, right? Because I'm thinking about something else. And I was thinking about what I'm going to talk about on the show. Maybe I'll talk about this, maybe I'll talk about that. And when I finally tuned back into my body, I was like, we're moving kind of fast. This is not a shuffle anymore. What's going on? But I feel fine, so I guess I'll go with it, but this is not what we planned. That day, I ran my fastest 5K ever and my fastest mile ever, all while I was on autopilot thinking about something else. So my point here is, in terms of the reticular activating system, I was thinking, this is where I want to be. I want to shuffle. And so while I was thinking about it, I was shuffling. But then when I tuned my attention someplace else, my body took over. So it's important what you think about, where your energy goes, because where your thoughts go, energy goes. But also what I'm noticing is that there's this duality, this separation between your thoughts and your body, because the subconscious knew that I could do more than I thought I could do, more than I consciously thought I could do. And so when I distracted myself and my subconscious took over, my subconscious was like, we got this. We ain't need to worry about that shuffle. Let's just go ahead and knock this out. But my self-imposed limitations, if I had stayed attuned to shuffling, I would have continued to shuffle. I would have completed my goal of completing my slowest mile ever. So all that to say, it's critically important what you think about and how you think about it, and stop underestimating yourself. Like, that's the bottom line. Like that woman who slid into the bushes, literally slid into the bushes, I'm sure she was thinking, I can't do this. But if she had been thinking, I can do this, or even if she had distracted herself by thinking about something else and put her body into autopilot, she would have done more than she could have. I'm sure she would have scooped that medicine ball up and trotted to the front and dropped it off. Speaking of which, I know you don't know, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. So I Googled it this morning to see if I could find an image. So here's an image. This is not the group, but this is just a group I found on Google. There we go. So you see the person in the front is holding the medicine ball, and he's going to drop it off. And the person all the way in the back looks like, with the yellow hat on, is going to have to pick it up and sprint to the front of that group while they're still running and then dropping off. It's hardcore. It's hardcore. Serious stuff. But anyway, the question of the day is, are you underestimating yourself? The answer is yes, because I've experienced it time and time again, even in this period of trying to level up and be my best self. So you have to wrestle with your mind. You have to be conscious of what you're feeding your filter seeker. Like that name, filter seeker, you got to be conscious of what information, what thoughts you're giving to the filter seeker. All right, so that's my thought. Let me get into these announcements really quick after this commercial break. Let's see if I can get through my whole list today. Shout out to Tim and shout out to Wayne. I see you guys over in the chat. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So, Hero Ministry update. Socks and shirts are still arriving. I got some socks yesterday and I got a shirt yesterday. So keep sending stuff. Those of you in the Congregation of Joy that said you were going to send the socks to me, don't think that because the T's and T event is over that I no longer need the socks. Send the socks. Send everything. This is an ongoing ministry. I will find other places to give those donations to. Probably the 7 nonprofits that are benefiting from my charity run. Speaking of which, that's a nice segue. This is the 58th day of the charity run, 58 of 61. That means I've been running at least a mile a day for 58 days straight. Wow. Today, as of today, I'm at 61 and a half miles. So easy peasy, 3.5 miles left over the course of 3 days left to get to 65. Those of you who have not sent money, send the money. Don't make me look bad in front of these nonprofits. Don't make me look bad now. I know you got all hyped. It's like, yeah, I'm involved. I want to contribute. Well, go ahead and contribute now. This is the end of the month. We got 3 days left before the end of the month. And I want to disperse the dividends to all the nonprofits. Don't make me look bad. Make me look bad. We got 18 people who raised their hand. We got 6 people who have sent the money in. All right, I'm watching you. Don't make me name names on the show. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but I will. So send your money however you want to send your money. Let me know that you sent it, and I'll tally it up for tomorrow. Tally Thursday is tomorrow, so I'll tally up the numbers so we'll know where we stand. All right, so that's that. And that also, I wanted to show this quick video. I showed it on Rev Mel's show, but I wanted to show it here. This is a very quick snippet of T's and T, the 3rd annual. It was this past Saturday. Yeah, it was a really great day. It was a really great day. A lot of joy, a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. If you want the recap, check out my podcast, the Sekou Writes Podcast, available on all the podcasting platforms, where I talk in depth about the event and what it meant to me. There it is on the left-hand side, the Sekou Writes Podcast. And I recorded it right after I left the event, like literally as I was leaving the event. So it was fresh. So check that out. Okay, shout out to Jacinta, the Hero Ambassador in Louisville, Kentucky. I forgot to mention that on the same day that we did T's and T, she was doing her outreach work in Louisville, Kentucky with the Hero shirts. So here, the Hero Ministry was in 2 cities at the same time on the same day, which just blows my mind. You can't plan this stuff. This is divinely ordained. This is the universe working through. This is God working his magic. On 2 days, we were serving the unhoused. On one day, we were serving the unhoused in 2 different cities at the same time. So shout out to Jacinta. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Shout out to Lenora. I just got your 3 pairs of Hero socks and shirt. Appreciate you. And shout out to Black Men Run. I talk about them a lot. Last night they did, well, actually for a few weeks now, they've been doing this event called Brown Boys Read. Yes, Black Men Run with Brown Boys Read. I volunteered last night to help the underserved young men read. And also I was the keynote speaker, and I talked to them about how reading led to writing, led to me becoming an automotive journalist. I figured that would appeal to them because everybody likes fancy cars. So my mentee asked me about Ferraris, which was very fun. So check out my social media. There's a post about it. There's a photo of me doing my do. There's a little bit of video. So check me out on Instagram at Sekou Writes and on Facebook, Sekou Writes. Okay. I want to shout out to Saucony. I hope I pronounced that right. The shoe company, Saucony. They provided sneakers for all of the kids, which is amazing. So they come in and there's a box of sneakers with their name on it. And so they grab the box, get the sneakers out, put their sneakers on, and they put their Black Men Run shirt on. And they're all like a squad. They all look the same, like a team. It was really, and I forgot the biggest part. Then they went jogging for a mile. So the initiative is about instilling in them the deep desire to read, and also instilling in them the deep desire to run. So they do the reading first and then the running, and it was really amazing to watch. So I appreciate my tiny little bit of involvement in that initiative. Shout out to Black Men Run. Shout out to Brown Boys Read. Okay, I think I made it through everything. Yeah, I made it. I did it. All right, so I'm just over time. So check me out on Sit with Rev Melissa. I'll probably be popping in at the end to say hello. And I produce that show and come back here to watch me Monday through Friday on New Thought Media Network live at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. Till then, keep doing. Be a hero. Be your own hero. And remember that now is better than perfect. Later.